I was watching an old Oprah episode of these reunited friends, and they had won an essay. This is an old episode. I won't watch the new ones. And they had this crazy Chinese lady who was a little eccentric who found this old friend that she hadn't seen for a long time. And they said, don't we all look alike? They were both so-called Chinese, but one was, they looked totally different, and the other one said, I'm glad you could tell the difference. But the point is, one was crazy. Just simply crazy. Now, Hong Kong in 1976. You have to understand Hong Kong in 1976. If you saw the movie Love is a Many Splendored Thing from 1950s, it's based on a true story, but there's many Chinese pouring into Hong Kong. We're talking mainland Chinese, the communist Chinese. Now these are the actual indigenous Hong Kongers, the people that you see here. This is what Hong Kongers and what we call of Chinese. There's two. There's these guys. Oh, I love the white gloves. My mother told me that these guys who directed traffic with the white gloves were amazing. And what I'm trying to say is, look at this culture here. This is Hong Kong. This is the Cantonese speaking. This is the ones that speak like Bruce Lee spoke Cantonese. This is the culture, colorful, vibrant. The communist Chinese were wearing drab. You know, they're not into Cantonese. They just came in and were sheltered by Hong Kong because Hong Kong was the most capitalist city in the world compared to 1966 China, where they had just destroyed the four old things. I mean, you're talking about a pressure cooker. You are talking about a pressure cooker, and we are in it now, where all the Chinese are taking over, but not the good Chinese. There's good Chinese, and there's bad Chinese. Can I just get an amen here? And I say this as a person with many deep roots into this culture. But I got deep roots into everything. And so I have an objective, non-biased opinion. Now, when you see this, it really bothers me because I don't think people are able to express this because nobody cares about the Chinese, whether they're Hong Kong Chinese or whether they're mainland Chinese. Nobody cares. I get it. I see it. It's not going to happen. But you should care now because you're turning into it. You're turning into it. But let me just say, I've been talking about China for a long time, since I've only learned recently about the 1966, just before I was born in 68, the destruction of the four old things, and why my parents had left Hong Kong, etc. Here's some Americans and British in Hong Kong. There's Bob Barker! Now, the problem is you got a crazy situation here because the communist Chinese have lost it. Even the ones that are the good guys, because I just got an email from Shenyun Collections, and they're selling crowns, okay? Does that seem sane to you, to go from wearing a Maoist uniform? Here's some British, the ones like, you know, paying tribute to the British. Thanks, Britain, for handing over Hong Kong in 1997, you fucking assholes. Thanks, Britain. Now look what you've done. You've turned the commie Chinese, who are riding on the wave of Hong Kong. Without Hong Kong, you got no money in China. Without Hong Kong is the thing sustaining. The people of Hong Kong are, as usual, being exploited. Look at this. Who the hell would sell this? Who the hell would wear this? We've created our first ever crown to be presented to the winner of the Miss Blah 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 beauty pageant. And this is Shenyun, the dance troupe. That's kind of weird. And they believe in bringing back the 5,000-year-old culture where they're doing the splits in the air. That's all they do is splits and flips. The inspiration came from the Shenyun dance phoenix of the sapphire world, being greatly important in Chinese culture. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. The 5 parts of the phoenix's body are linked to traditional Confucian values. I heard that he's bad now. Virtue, righteous, propriety, trustworthiness, and benevolence. I know it sounds good, right? But it isn't. It ain't. Come and join the party dressed to kill. Come on. You are witnessing a genocide of the Cantonese language in favor of the Mandarin language, and these people are psychopaths. They need healing. They need a sanctuary. They need a Kellogg's farm to all go to get their minds completely scraped of this fakeness, okay? Because this is what's happened.